yeah, we'll see what happens here. But it is very, difficult to guess what this guy's going through or what's going through his mind. But I mean,
well, it seems like not much is going through his mind, because you wonder why someone
common
like
sense
this,
you would hope.
yeah, I guess he's enjoying the last couple of minutes of his freedom, because he will be arrested. He's got to know that. And what's the point of this? You're going to be taken into custody at any minute.
Well, and also this is the other point. There's vehicles in front of the house and in the driveway. There's likely some people inside that house that are probably kind of freaking out about the fact that there's somebody on their roof. And obviously he's been walking in front of the windows. That's got to be a little frightening as well. Best suggestion is just for them to, who knows if they're watching, obviously, just to hang tight, listen to the commands of the police officers that are in and around the house.
Absolutely, yeah. We just don't know what this guy's doing. We see him looking into windows there. I mean, the last thing that we want is for this guy to actually, make entry into one of these homes, and who knows what kind of danger this guy poses to anyone who might be inside the building. So hopefully he just, stays outside, and just at some point he'll have to give up, and the police will take him into custody. But look at him; he's kind of acting erratically, and now he's going to climb up again to this rooftop, and it's just like, who knows what this guy's going to do.
Yeah. If you're just joining us at 8:15 here, what we're looking at is the termination of a pursuit that has resulted in what police would call a foot bail. This guy jumped out of the vehicle with another suspect, a stolen vehicle. He is now on top of a house in the Westwood area. This is right near the campus of UCLA at Hillgard and LeConte. And the police have surrounded this home.
It's done. Just get down the roof.
Overhead, keeping eyes
You
on
didn't get
him.
arrested no matter what.
And he is now simply waiting for police to move on him, and the police are waiting for him to come down. And if he doesn't come down soon, I'm sure they'll bring him down.
Yeah, and we're talking about the challenge of keeping eyes on this suspect. He's obviously moving a lot. He's also got, they're at a disadvantage being on the ground. Fortunately, as you said, they have a LAPD airship in the air. They can keep eyes on him for the most part, but we've had challenges doing that with a fair amount of tree cover. He's clearly shouting back and forth with police officers. He seems agitated. And Mark, you said you think the other suspect, the female, was taken into custody?
You know what, Michaela, I have no confirmation on that. We do know that during the pursuit there were two people in the vehicle, the driver, this male right here, and a female passenger, and we can only assume that that female was taken into custody, although we do not have any confirmation. It looks like all the attention is being focused on this guy right here. There doesn't appear to be any ongoing search for anyone else at this point, but maybe the desk can kind of get that information for us. But we do believe that one passenger, the female, was taken into custody, and now we're waiting for this guy to be taken into custody. And so, this is going to pose some challenges here. He's on an A-frame roof. I mean, do you really want your police officers going up to the roof and kind of taking this guy down and possibly putting themselves at more risk? So, it definitely is going to pose some challenges getting this guy off the roof unless he kind of gives up voluntarily there. And it looks like he just kind of wants to make a jump from there to there, and we'll see what this guy does. And so there he is again, coming up to those windows, and let's see what he does.
Well, he does seem to be acting in a bizarre sort of way, and and the other part for police, I mean, they train for so many different scenarios. I can't imagine that they've trained for a suspect running up onto a roof and how you handle that. Maybe they have.
An occupied house.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
And SWAT, the best SWAT team in the country. How will they handle this? Well, I'm sure they've got all sorts of contingencies, but it'll be interesting to see. They have the non-lethal kinds of rounds that they can employ, but then if you hit this guy with that and he tumbles off the roof and hits the ground, is that what they want? I'm not so sure.
Best case scenario, they want to try and just get the guy to come down. But they're dealing with somebody who's somewhat erratic, who's obviously running from the police to begin with, in a vehicle, in a stolen vehicle, and then led them on a foot pursuit and sort of playing this cat and mouse game with him, if you will. And now is clearly agitated on this roof and is probably not, he's obviously not cooperating with the commands of the police.
Yeah, it looks like, is he on a deck there now? Because that would give them, as opposed to a roof, if he's on the deck of that house at this point, that might be a better spot for the police to to move in. No, it looks like he's back on the roof again there.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a split level. It's kind of a split level roof there, for lack of a better term. Here, there's different levels of the roof, and you're just going from one to the next. And you see he's on kind of the mid-level deck there, and there's one above, and so he's just kind of has his position staked out. As you know, cops come at him from the front, he'll go to the back. As cops come at him from the back, he'll go back to the side to the front, and maybe even jump, you know, to the next roof over. So he's being kind of squirrely here. He doesn't seem to be wanting to give up, but you know, no doubt he's only prolonging the inevitable. But it seems like, you know, for moments there that he puts his arms up, you know, in compliance, but in fact, there he is climbing up to the upper deck of this roof now. So he's just going from location to location, from house to house, and so this is the way it's probably going to play out for a little bit until they can formulate a strategy to bring this guy down.
Well, and the good news is that you know, hostage negotiators and SWAT, they're used to waiting people out, and this guy is visible, and it looks like he just jumped off onto. Is it just another roof that he's hopped off onto?
It's hard to see, but it looks like there is a bit of roof extending from that area that he just jumped off to. So yeah, he may be on that lower section. I'm seeing some shingles there.
Yeah,
But,
you want to use. They want to use every advantage they have. You're right. They have a disadvantage that they're not on the same plane, if you will, as a suspect. He's on a roof. He's above them. He has a better vantage point than they do. But what they have time, and they have patience, and they have numbers. He's acting in desperate fashion. He's got a lot to lose. He's in a dangerous, precarious position. So they want to use their advantages against his disadvantages.
Yeah, I mean, the police can wait him out all day long if they want, and if he wants to
Just camping.
I guess the good news is
He likes to
he's
camp.
not posing any immediate threat to anyone other than himself.
He's camping.
Assuming that house has been evacuated at this point, if there was anyone inside, and the police will, you know, do what they have to do to bring him down.
That's right, and you know what? Again, he's just kind of prolonging the inevitable. I mean, you know, he's just going from rooftop to rooftop. He does have the advantage of, you know, quite a bit of, you know, space to work with there as he just goes from area to area. But you know, hopefully they'll be able to take him into custody shortly. We don't know what this guy's going through, what's going through his mind, but I mean, he's just it just doesn't make any sense for him to, you know, try and carry this on any longer than need be, because with every minute, I mean, he's just making it worse for himself.
Yeah, and then you also, you know, there's the concern of him acting more and more desperate and making a foolish move and to fall, slip. I mean, obviously, walking on shingles, anybody that's done any home repair knows what you're dealing with there. It's slippery, it's unstable. You want to be very careful, and this guy is obviously not regarding safety as a #1 priority right now, you could say, and is trying to elude the police as best he can. He's got to know he's surrounded.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. He definitely knows he's surrounded here. We're going to make our way up to the north side here and see if we can pick him up on the north side of the building there. But yeah, he's got to know he's surrounded. I mean, it's obvious that he's making every attempt to evade, you know, being taken, to avoid being taken into custody there. But yeah, what is he doing there? Is he
More bizarre behavior now. Yeah, now he's looking around in the trees, and now it looks like he's transferred himself to one of the trees. Maybe he's going to bring himself down that way. We can only hope.
Yeah, that could be.
Getting up is one thing, getting down is another.
Trying to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's climbing from treetop to treetop.
We've seen it all, haven't we?
Yeah.
Boy,
I'll
howdy.
tell you what. Yeah, we sure have.
We really have, and I'm sure police feel the same way. But again, you know, no situation is exactly alike. This is not a regular day at the office for them. I'll tell you that much. And he's back on the roof.
There he is back on the roof. Okay, so he must have been approached by officers here, and here he is scrambling back to that lower level of the roof there, and here he is moving around as officers appear to be closing in. So yeah, we've seen him on this.
Just get down. You're gonna get caught no matter what.
And so he's likely going to make his way back over to the east side. So we'll kind of see what happens here, and we'll kind of continue the orbit and see where we can pick him up again. It just does not make any sense for him to kind of, you know, prolong this, you know, any longer than need
Yeah,
be.
but we're not dealing with somebody who's making a lot of sense, I guess you could say.
Yeah. What's amazing too is you know, the professionalism with which the LAPD officers handle a situation like this. I'm sure the adrenaline was pumping at the end of that pursuit.
Sure.
They get here now. They have this guy surrounded, and then they have to bring the heart rate down and
Think
deal
it out.
with you know, a person who is not in his right mind walking around on a rooftop, and then they'll have to take him into custody. It's incredible how they do this, and how someone like this ends up using so many public resources to waste everyone's
Yeah,
time.
there's the officer right in front.
And it looks like they're having a conversation here.
Yeah, obviously the officer trying to coax this guy down, and hopefully at some point he responds and comes down peacefully. That would definitely be the best resolution to this. But as we've seen over the past few minutes, he's just not complying, and he just refuses to come
See,
down.
they're waving him down. Come on, buddy, come on. Our hands are up.
Yeah.
Come on down. Let's just talk.
Well, they want to make sure that he's not going to make any strange moves.
His hands are up.
5 is holding here. We're at 2,000. Okay, so let me come around here to the side. Hopefully we're getting closer to a point where he actually gives up here. And 5's going to move around to the west side.
He is doing some of the right things. He's holding his hands up,
Here he comes again.
and there is moving again.
So it's kind of like he's playing just kind of a cat and mouse game here. He puts his arms up. He appears to be complying, and right at the moment where they want him to come down, he just starts running off again. So okay, 5's here, 2,000. Here he is running up to the top of the roof again.
Oh, so frustrating for
They
the
were really
officers.
close there. They were really close.
It looked like he was about to come down. If you're just waking up, 8:26 here in Southern California, you're watching the end of a pursuit with a suspect who was in a stolen vehicle, ran out of the car, and jumped on top of a house. And we're in Westwood, right near the campus of UCLA, right around the intersection of Hillgard and LeConte. And this
Please
is
just,
someone who's been
please should climb the roof.
acting in a sort of a bizarre fashion, running back and forth, gesturing wildly, talking to the LAPD officers.
Okay,
Seemed,
yeah, we're going to do a slow orbit as well.
seemed for a moment like he was going to give himself up, was showing the officers his hands, and then he started running away again.
And so here we are, back kind of at square one. What time was this first called in? What time did we hear this pursuit on the road, Mark?
I'm going to tell you that we probably picked this up on the scanners about 20 minutes ago. It was the West LA. It was the West LA officers of the LAPD were actually following this vehicle, so we kind of came in this direction again about 20 minutes ago, shortly before we came to air on this. And as we were getting closer, the vehicle went into pursuit. They tried to pull him over. It was a failure to yield. The vehicle was coming down Hillgard and LeConte in this neighborhood.